Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. With us today, we have Rob and Karen from CNN and DBS. Hi, guys. Thank you for joining. We're going to talk about your recent partnership where DBS came on board as a partner for CNN to inspire audiences to play their part in building a better future and also highlight the innovative steps that entrepreneurs and businesses are taking to create a better world for us to live in. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Hi, Rob. Nice to see you again. I know we did the first part of the segment. Are you ready for your second round with me?
I'm ready, more than ready.
Well, I'm going to start you off easy. Tell us a little bit about the partnership with DBS and how did it come around?
Well, look, all great partnerships are built on trust and respect to start off with, a trust that we can truly understand each other, and a trust that we can, from our point of view, DBS trusting us that we can deliver their message, to their audiences around the world and within the Asia region. So, when you start with that space, there's a sort of consultative process of truly understanding, what DBS is looking to achieve, and also CNN sharing insight on our audiences, what they're interested in. We obviously have a lot of data on what people are consuming and how we can deliver an impactful campaign. But, we speak about trust. We're now in the second year, which is a great sign that things are working. It's a truly cross-platform campaign. It touches, obviously TV, digital, social, includes an exclusive sponsorship of Inventing Tomorrow, which highlights innovation from businesses and entrepreneurs, which is a truly cross-brand sponsorship, but also very important branded content series, Portraits of Purpose, which works with Create, which is our in-house branded content studio. And this year we're creating 7 films that's really focusing on authentic change makers, people that DBS are partnering with, and clients in the community that are really creating some sort of positive impacts with what they're doing through their business. And the campaign has a great response, both from our audience that loves consuming it, but also recognition from the industry with various awards as well.
Thanks for sharing that, Rob. Now I'm going to ask a little bit about the partnership to both of you. In fact, why did DBS choose to partner with CNN and vice versa around the topic of sustainability? Karen, maybe you can lead the way.
As Rob mentioned, it's important there's a huge amount of mutual respect and trust. For a topic like sustainability, it's something that authenticity, is where authenticity is paramount. We were very particular about our partners' ability to help us to tell the stories, tell the portraits, that's why it's called Portraits of Purpose, whereby, Team DBS had worked, with different clients from different markets to really overcome something or to achieve a better way of conducting business or to kind of reduce their carbon footprint. So CNN was a kind of a natural choice for us. They are in the markets that we're in. They reach out to the target segments that we are reaching out to. And last but not least, I think whilst this portraits is we're into portraits for 2 years, we also have worked with CNN in the past. And we've always been very happy about the partnership. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that, Karen. So Rob, for a media brand like CNN, which is trusted globally, it's paramount that you find the right partners. So tell us what stood out about DBS.
Well, DBS is incredibly authentic in this space. Right now, of course, we know at CNN, the audience have this, deep interest on what's happening in the world when it comes to the environment, to sustainability. The audiences that we have at CNN, we think of them and we know that they're incredibly powerful. They're people that, come to CNN for information on how they can live better, to understand what's going on within geopolitics, within sustainability, within technology, to empower discussions at the dinner table, to empower decisions in the workplace, and to empower, who they will partner with to better their business, not just in terms of profitability, but also how to have a positive impact in the world. When you look at what DBS is doing, and I say doing deliberately, the stories that we have coming from DBS are based off real initiatives that they have with their clients and their businesses, where DBS enable them to run their businesses, of course, for profitability, but also in a way where it's, where they are having real impact into the world. So the stories that we have coming in Portraits of Purpose obviously focus on human-led stories. That's what works for our audience. They often have, they deliver some sort of emotion or response from the audience. Our audience loves them because they're authentic, they're real, they're something that DBS has genuinely done already, rather than something they're doing in the future. So because of that, it's a perfect partnership for us to tell these stories focused on sustainability that are having real impact in the real world that our audiences also love.
Thanks for sharing that, Rob. So we know that this is the second year of your partnership. So Karen, maybe you can share with us what is different this year in terms of campaign execution and creative, and what keeps audiences engaged on DBS and CNN?
Yeah. Perhaps before I can tell you what is different, let me start by saying what is the same. These are, again, portraits, aka stories of purpose, and they embody or they enable us to demonstrate what DBS stands for. Last year, we were demonstrating, that strong sense of purpose by sharing different stories of how we've worked with clients in different markets on various COVID-related relief measures, for obvious reasons. This year, with the pandemic having sort of going into its second year, it was more about how, sustainability issues are now a lot more, people are more cognizant of them. And we wanted our portraits to demonstrate how digitalization, going green, being more inclusive, those were the sort of the narratives of our portraits. So the purpose behind the portrait stays the same. The narratives, have changed based on the kind of efforts that are happening on the ground right now. Yeah.
So given that this is your second year, what did CNN bring to the table that was different for you guys this year?
I think obviously the experience of working with us last year in terms of shaping the narratives, shaping how we told the stories. There was sort of the benefit of having done it 1 year and the ability to do it again this year. There has a greater degree of confidence. We then also looked at increasing the number of films produced. Last year there were 5, this year there are 7. And also looking at sort of like complementing it with other sort of digital features and all that. So it's more so an expansion of a concept that or a partnership that we felt was effective last year. Yeah.
Rob, I'm going to ask you the same question. What do you think CNN offered that was different?
I go back to, the reason why brands work with CNN, it does come back to our audience. It also is linked to the audience, specific audiences in some respects, but also because we are a media that offers true scale, and it's not just TV, it's not just digital, it's across social. And that enables us to be very targeted. So yes, we can reach a highly affluent audience if that is part of the campaign, but also because we have this scale, ensures that we can unlock new audiences and therefore new customers for brands and banks such as DBS. So, by understanding that audience and making sure that we're giving as much data and insight to DBS on who our audience is, what they're interested in, what their behavior is like around certain content, it ensures that in turn, there's that trust that we're going to reach the right people, but also, trust is really what I would say we kind of sell at CNN. The content on CNN, whether it's in partnership with a brand, whether it's obviously the editorial that we create every day, has incredible standard and practices that we adhere to. So anything that is pushed out by CNN, our audiences trust. They know it's well researched. They know it's fact-driven. They know it's obviously been very well thought out and produced beautifully, and, in a world where the media space is incredibly cluttered, particularly in the digital space, in order to cut through all this noise in the digital space and all of this content, you need an audience that cares about the brand that's pushing it out. You need a story from a brand that people are aware of and trust. And all of that kind of comes together on this campaign where we've got these beautiful stories that are really, focused on an area which we know our audiences are interested in. And then working with the 3 red and white letters of CNN, that it cuts through the clutter, is what I would say.
And what did DBS bring to the table that was aligned with the CNN brand?
Authenticity, fact, doing, actually doing, as I said earlier, in terms of, yes, a lot of in this space right now, a lot of brands are talking about what their purpose is, what their impact is. But really, you know, DBS is proven in this space. It's not just a flash in the pan because this is the latest thing that audiences are interested in and consumers are interested in. It's a long-term investment and vision from DBS. And that makes it easy for us to work with them because the stories that we're working with have happened, you know, they're real. And therefore, you know, when we're pushing them out, that authenticity, that trust that our audience has with us, it all aligns.
Well, thank you very much. I wish you both absolute success for the campaign. And thank you so much for enlightening us about your partnership.